All right, we're going to kick this thing off, so as everybody grabs some final refreshments, I'd like to welcome you all to the second annual Adaptive Runner Brunch hosted by the Flutie Foundation. We're so excited to see so many of you here. We have friends from in town, from out of town, from both coasts, most of whom in this room just ran 20 plus miles this morning. So let's give a hand for those who pounded the pavement earlier this morning. Everybody's still smiling and standing and looks no different than when I saw them this morning, which is really great. My name's Ethan. I'm the Director of Development here at the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. And as the presenting sponsor for the adaptive program for runners at the Boston Marathon, we're so excited to host this event for a second year in partnership with our friends at the BAA, to welcome all of our friends from Dougie's team, other charity teams, adaptive runners who are both running for Dougie's team and otherwise. That's one thing I'm really excited about this year, is that we have adaptive runners from not only across the country joining us today, but also some international runners who are participating in the adaptive program. You'll hear from many of them in a moment. To kick us off though, I just want to let you know a little bit about how this will go. We have a short program for you. Like I said earlier, we have tons of food and drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, so feel free to continue to eat, drink, mingle, and grab some, because again, we don't want to take any home, and it's all for you guys. We'll have a brief introduction from my colleague, our Executive Director of the Flutie Foundation, Nick Savare, fill us in a little bit on the adaptive program for runners, our current partnership with the Boston Athletic Association. You'll hear from representatives from our partners at the BAA, and then you'll hear from a panel of runners hosted by my colleague Joe Katusik, who manages Dougie's team for autism, talking about their experiences as an adaptive runner and everything that they're doing to prepare for the marathon, which is now 1 month minus a day from today. So yeah, give it up for that. We're getting excited. So with that, I'd love to invite up Nick Savare, the Executive Director of the Flutie Foundation, who will speak a little bit more on the adaptive program for runners and our partnership.
Thank you very much. Give Ethan a big round of applause for all of his excellent work. So yeah, as Ethan mentioned, we are so excited to be here today. We're so excited about Dougie's team for autism and the incredible work they're doing to raise funds and to come together to build inclusive communities for people and families affected by autism. But we're also even more excited of equal excitement, I should say, for our partnership with the Boston Athletic Association and the Boston Marathon, the single greatest road race in the world. So give it up for the Boston Marathon. We're so lucky. We take it for granted that we're here in Massachusetts and we're just a part of it. The work that the Boston Athletic Association does, just to put on a great race to begin with, but also to promote inclusion and accessibility for people with disabilities, a variety of disabilities, is just a best-in-class operation over there. And we're so happy to partner with them to help provide the infrastructure so that so many runners with, whether it's autism or any other of a myriad of eligible impairments, can run on the same course that the best runners in the world run on and that all of Dougie's team runs on. And we're just so happy to be a part of that whole thing. So give it up for the Boston Athletic Association. But we are also here to celebrate, of course, the adaptive runners themselves. So I know you're going to hear from them in a minute, but just so if you're looking around the room and you don't know who they are, the great Fishman is here. Mike Palmer, I don't know, I'm just looking around, what do we got here? Hannah, where are you? Hannah right in front of me. We'll hear from them all later. Greg Schwartz in the house. Claudia, Kelly. So everybody, it's just amazing. We're so honored to be, that you're all a part of the Flutie Foundation family, so thank you all so much. Also, just would be remiss if I didn't mention, I hope everyone is enjoying their Jersey Mike subs. And if there are ever a day where you're going to go out and buy lunch for your family or your colleagues, Wednesday, March 27th, the day of giving for Jersey Mike's, where all the proceeds will come back to the Flutie Foundation, but that's neither here nor there. I just want to encourage everybody to do that. So without further ado, I'm not 100% certain what's next in here, but I believe am I introducing Jack Fleming. I would like to introduce the head of the Boston Athletic Association, just somebody who nobody fits that role better. Just somebody who's passionate about running, a great person, a great ambassador. Jack Fleming.
Thanks, stay up here, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day weekend, everybody. I saw the Sam Adams over there, one of our other sponsors. I couldn't not have one of those on this festive weekend. Thank you, Christina and Brad, for being with us as part of our BAA team. You know, we had a kickoff event yesterday. Yesterday was a BAA Day of Giving. And I know that so many are, I feel like so comfortable with this group, having been invited to many events that you've hosted. See everybody around town, whether it be at a Boston College football game, or NCAA Division I track meet, or maybe it's on the road at New York City Marathon or another marathon. And really, I just want to say thank you for welcoming the BAA and our staff into your community. It's really not the other way around. I feel like when I'm on Commonwealth Avenue, I see the team, the camaraderie that's there. I have to stop and turn around and run a few steps, right, Michael? With you all, and just catch up and say hello. We really appreciate you being there. You really show yourselves, and when you do that, you don't want to hear the word inspiring. You don't want to hear that, but you are, okay? And that inspiration leads to others wanting to participate in this same space. I was with, I paused because I have a tendency to go on and on and on, and I realize I only have 40 minutes today. So so I'm going to try to bring that down to 4. No. But I was with a young gentleman the other day, Thomas Cantara from New Hampshire, and he came down and he has an intellectual impairment, and he's going to be running in a new division that we have in the Boston Marathon. We've added 2 divisions for para-athletics that complement our adaptive program. And he said, I don't like to be around people. He said, I like to keep my distance, don't like, I don't want anybody around me. He said, but running is the only place in the world that I want to be around others. It's that community. It really had a tremendous impact on me. And look for him as well as part of this group and program in less than 1 month's time. But the reason why we have expanded our para divisions and our adaptive programs and greater accessibility programs is really because of your work. The foundation has been helpful, not only in sharing with us how to support, where to support, when to support, what we have to do, what we should do. So open with how we can approach. Nick and I have had some good conversations in our office, how we can approach this together. And again, I have a tendency to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I won't. I just wanted to wish everyone be here today, certainly, and wish everyone a tremendous 4 weeks of training. Don't get injured. Look forward to that final left-hand turn onto Boylston Street. Soak it all in. And I'm at the risk of going on a little bit more, I'm looking at my friend Enchi here. And I think, I remember Enchi was maybe during COVID, if I'm not mistaken, or right at the end of COVID. And I went for a run with Enchi. And, it was, this guy can hammer. And we went back and forth and back and forth and had a very nice training run together. So the friendships, and you know who you are in this room, the friendships that we make together, I think is just really representative of the power of the Boston Marathon. So thank you for giving me a chance, and Christine and Brad, chance for us to be here today with you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for all you do. Jack Fleming. I'm just going to quickly add on to one thing Jack said. He said that the reason they do all this great work in this space is because of the Flutie Foundation, and I will take that and say the reason that the Flutie Foundation does what we do is because of our leaders like Eric Fishman, like Enchi, like Hannah, like Mike, like Kelly, who lead by example. And so I just want to note that and give them one more big round of applause. And then it's back to you.
Thanks, Nick. I'll take that one. We're going to need both of them here in a second because of what I'm going to introduce next. Funny, before I do though, funny you bring up Thomas Cantera, Jack, a young gentleman actually from my hometown in New Hampshire. And it just brings up such a cool point, which I think is that, this small world of running is so connected that we all find ourselves in. We love to be such a big part of it with you all. And what's better than the Boston Marathon, to Nick's point? Seeing what Thomas has done, talking to other race directors of races that he's won, knowing his background and what division he's in, I think it all stems from the running culture that Boston sits at the nucleus of in New England and beyond. So thank you again for everything that you do for this community, and it's so exciting to see the competitiveness ramping up. I know we've got some PRs in the room that have yet to be stamped on April 15th from our adaptive runners, looking around at some guys and gals that I see in better shape than I've ever seen them, and it's because they're driven because of this event. So it's really, really cool. So thank you for all that you guys do. So I will also pause myself, because I have a similar tendency to Jack to go on, and introduce my colleague Joe Katusik, manager of Dougie's Team for Autism, who will then introduce our panel of adaptive runners that you'll all get to hear more from. Dare I say, potentially the best part of our program this afternoon.
Awesome, thank you very much, Ethan. Thanks everyone for coming out. I know everyone has already thanked you, but I want to thank you again. I am going to bring up some of our adaptive runners in the room. Eric, if you want to come on up and join me. This is Eric Fishman, ladies and gentlemen. And then I also want to bring up Enchi. I have Mike Palmer over here. Come on up, Mike Palmer. I have Greg Schwartz. Kelly Wiswell. And last but certainly not least, our team captain this year, Hannah Adams. Awesome, give everyone a moment to come on up. So we have, just quick math, 7 adaptive runners this year. We would have 8, but Kyle Grossman is taking a break. But we are poised to have our adaptive program grow very quickly after this year. We have a lot of emails coming in from runners like Claudio, who I know is in the room, and other folks that are looking for a team experience like Dougie's team to showcase their talent in the adaptive division. So we wanted to hear from you all. We all have some questions for you. I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to have a couple of you answer that question, and then we'll move on to the next one. Does that sound good? All right, so first question, we are going to have each of you answer this. If you want to hand the mic to Kelly, and we can go down the line. Introduce yourself, where are you from, and your age.
I'm Kelly Wiswell from Clinton, Maine, and I'm 37.
Hi everybody, I'm Eric Fishman, I'm 42 and I'm from I live in Dryden.
Hey everyone, I'm Hannah Adams, I'm 31 years old. I will be running my 6th Boston Marathon, 14th marathon overall.
Yeah, Hannah.
That's Watson, 35.
I'm Andy Shu, I'm 21 years old and I'm from Northfield, Massachusetts. I'm going to run the 4th Boston Marathon, 5th overall.
I'm Mike Palmer. I live in Brighton, Massachusetts, and I'm 30 years old.
Fantastic. All right, so Mike, I'm going to start with you since you have the mic. What does running in the Boston Marathon mean to you?
It means everything. I grew up in Hopkinton, so when you're in Hopkinton, you're kind of around the Boston Marathon every single day, it feels like. I mean, you just have to go about 1.5 miles from my house to see the start, so yeah, it means everything. I like to tell this story. I've always wanted to run this race, and this is a funny story. When I was, I don't know, I forget the age, but it was young, so let's say it was 8. We remember walking up from my neighborhood to the start line and then running back after all the runners would leave. And I was told that I was going the wrong direction. Boston's the other way. So I think it was from that moment that I knew I wanted to run this race. The Kenyans used to come to my school, and that was a highlight from my 12-year Hopkinton journey. Getting to meet the Kenyans, literally getting to talk to them one-on-one. It was a highlight, and I knew from that day on that I wanted to run this race. So to get the opportunity is incredible. Never thought I would get the opportunity, but it just shows that anything's possible. So I love this race. I've gotten to run other majors around the world, and this one's by far my favorite. So.
Angie, I have another question for you. My question for you is, what are you most excited about during race weekend?
Seeing people welcoming to Boston worldwide.
Yes, absolutely. You can hand the mic to Greg. Greg, same question. What are you most excited about for race weekend? Which question would you like me to answer? You want to
You go, Greg.
You want to answer, what does running the Boston Marathon mean to you? Yeah? What does it mean to you, Greg?
See everybody cheer you on and
Yeah.
come back to see Boston again,
Yeah.
me again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. Hannah, can you tell us what inspires you to run?
I'm inspired by the incredible athletes that come from all over the world to run this race. I'm inspired by the children and families facing the huge challenges of autism that the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation represents. I think of those struggles, and I want to work harder each and every day to become a stronger runner and a person.
What about you, Eric? What inspires you to run?
My family, because they give me an inspiration that I can do anything if I put my mind to it. The Flutie Foundation family inspires me because they make me feel that I can do anything if I just put my mind to it, and they just keep going.
Ellie, this is your first Boston Marathon, right?
Correct.
What are you most looking forward to about your first Boston Marathon?
Finish line?
How has your Boston experience been so far?
It's been amazing. I've never trained with a team before. Like today was the first time ever doing a long run with people. Like that's normal for me. And street lights and stop signs and those things. Like I'm usually literally my runs are marked. My family knows where I'm going by which dairy farm I'm running by. So this is not normal. But the team aspect of it has just been phenomenal. The encouragement and support. I met Jen and Mike in September when I had a terrible race. And they just came alongside, and that's the fun part of the running community. So everyone just includes you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're very happy to have you, Kelly. I'd like to go back down the line, starting with Kelly. Anything else you would like to share, piece of advice for other adaptive runners in the room or budding adaptive runners that you would like to share with the room or with your team?
Don't quit. I got told when I finished my first half marathon, you'll never run a full, it's too far. Well, Boston will be my 7th marathon, so I ran 3 before having a stroke, and then I've run 3 since. So I'm just
What's one thing you want to share with other adaptive runners, Eric? What's one piece of wisdom that you have? You're doing great, Eric. You're doing great.
Just because just because we have autism and people say that we can't do it, my words are always, yes, you can. If you have a dream, go for it. I would be the perfect example because when I was 3 years old, I was told that I was gonna be nothing. And look at me now. I'm getting ready to run my 4th Boston Marathon and 11th marathon overall.
One thing I want to share with other adaptive runners is to always believe in yourself, go chase your dreams and your passion, and go run and chase 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell your fellow adaptive runners, Greg?
Train.
Train. That's great. Angie, what would you like to tell your fellow adaptive runners?
My advice is start slow, finish strong. Don't push yourself at the beginning.
Great
Very
advice.
good advice. Very good advice. Mike, word of advice?
Yeah.
Maybe keep it under 10 minutes.
Simple. Don't take no as an answer. Too many people tell us we can't do something. Honestly, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't take no as an answer. That means anything when it comes to job, anything. Don't take no as an answer.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott. Let's give another round of applause for our adaptive panel. We're not done yet. We have a little surprise for everyone. I'm going to have you all step on the carpet here. And I need some help. If Kim and Nick, you want to help me out. I'm going to have everyone close your eyes. We're going to hand you something. Don't open your eyes until we tell you.
I know what it
Take a step at
It's like,
I'm tired, guys. I just aren't trying to.
I might fall asleep.
Yeah.
hands up.
Hands out, Greg.
Oh, it's the.
Awesome.
Nice.
Go ahead and open your eyes. You are holding our brand new Dougie's Team singlets for 2024. Go ahead and open them up. Take a look at them. Awesome. Aren't those nice?
Yeah. Wow.
Greg, what do you think?
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's get one. Yeah, hold them up. Let's get a group photo.
Yeah.
You want to go back?
That's good.
Everyone look at Alyssa. Everyone look at me.
How many people?
Sorry.
I love it.
Claudio, we have one for you too if you're in the room. Is Claudio still here?
Oh, I'm going to burn out.
Okay, we will get Claudio his. Also, if you are running Boston with us, see me before you leave.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. Well, let's get one more round of applause for this crew.
Thanks, Joe. I'm actually going to have our adaptive panel stick around for 1 second.
Not get trouble.
Just in case we have any questions from our audience for our adaptive runner, but we have them all here with
Ask
new gear in
away.
hand.
Ask away.
Yeah.
Any question at all?
Someone's got to have one.
Actually, what is your most, best memory for running those Boston Marathon?
Running my first Boston Marathon with my mother together. I'm senior of high school in 2021.
There was a correct answer to that question. And you answered correctly, Angie. Any other questions before we cut these guys loose?
Greg, who's your favorite Flutie Foundation staff member?
I believe Nick.
That seems like a plan too.
I learned it from Connie.
I know Nick very well.
I learned it from Connie.
Yeah.
I know Nick very well.
Yeah, and they give you a chance to say.
That's fair enough. That's fair, Greg. I'll give you that. I'm only a little bit hurt.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That is true.
Special action mile team with Nick.
Does anyone have any? Sorry, I'm just like your goal. Do you have just one or two of you? What's your goal for the Boston Marathon? It could be time, or it could just be finish, or would you have a goal?
Enjoy the process.
Amen. That's a great goal.
P50.
Well, my goal is to finish, but to also, I just want to say congratulations to each of the Flutie teammates that completed the first or annual 22-21. It's a huge, inspiring, and it's very honored to be the captain this year of the Doug Flutie Junior Foundation. Done it without my family, John and Cindy Adams.
Yes.
Without them, I couldn't have started without this far, and without them, I couldn't have stepped out and just reached my first marathon or any marathons per se. But again, thank you for the Flu staff, and congrats to the adaptive runners, congrats to the runners. Go chase the 26.2 miles.
Love it. And Anna, you set me up with a perfect segue for us to close out this program, which is that obviously for anybody running, the Boston Marathon is an individual pursuit in moving your legs alone. It takes an army to get you to the Boston Marathon finish line. That's even more so true for charity runners, those raising money through their marathon to support great causes. And it's also even more true for adaptive runners. So before we close out here, I'd love to fill our stage up a little bit more and just invite anybody who is a support or guide runner for the Boston Marathon this year, or has been a support or guide runner for an adaptive runner in the past, come on up to get one last group picture with our adaptive runners. And that will close out our program. While they all come up, thank you all again for coming out. Be sure to grab food, drink on your way out, and we'll be here for a while, so please stick around. And let's hear one more round of applause for these guys and everybody running Boston this year. Thank you so much.